All right, and welcome again to Mac's Corner. I just wanted to do a really quick video because I just got my very first video play request for Dark Souls 2, which I plan to get to tonight if I can. And I'm excited about that because at the end of the day, I want to give people what they want, and getting a request is the easiest way to make sure I'm not just poking at the dark, just trying to kind of guess what people would be interested in. So I'm really excited about this, and it made me realize that why don't I go ahead and share my gaming library with you so that you can see what I've got and see if there's anything on there that you'd be interested in me doing a Let's Play about. Also, just because I don't have it doesn't mean it's a no-go. If it's a video game that you recommend and I look at it and I would be interested and think I'd enjoy playing it, I'll buy it. I can't do that obviously, hundreds and hundreds of times, but um, I can do that every once in a while as well. The only thing is if I'm going to buy it, it's probably going to have to be something that I at least think I'd get a decent amount of enjoyment from playing it. My interests are pretty broad, but there are a few types of games that I don't enjoy, and I'll get into that at a later time. So here's my favorites. Okay, so let me start scrolling down a little bit because you've had time to look at this if you want. You can always pause the video. Orcs Must Die is the last one. So just to be clear, it was Orcs Must Die, yeah. Just to be clear, just because it's on my favorites list does not necessarily mean it is one of my favorite games. I also utilize the favorites list to keep track of games that I want to eventually get back and kind of play more substantively, but I haven't done it yet. And I just keep them there as a reminder of like, okay, I still at some point decided I want to go back and play this game more, just not right now. And I also haven't cleaned it up in a while. Games down here are kind of if I'm really bored and I'm really just looking for something that I hadn't played in a while, I'll come check out this list. And it's also where I keep, obviously, the games that I played. I was like, I think Airline Tycoon 2 is a great one. I bought that on an impulse, played it, and then I realized the game was complete garbage. So it's still in the library, but it's going to stay. I don't ever foresee myself playing it again. In fact, if someone would like it gifted, maybe I'll do some sort of competition or something later. Not that it's that great a reward, but hey, what free's free, right? So okay, so here's this list here. You can pause the video for a second if you're interested. I'll go down right here. I'll pause for a second, and not too long because you can obviously pause the video once again. And then all the way down. So as you can see, I've got a pretty substantial Steam library, because I started using it about 6 years ago. And the reality is once it becomes your library, it's very difficult to really want to purchase games on other sites simply because it's nice to have your games in one place. That said, you can't always purchase games on Steam. So Origin, without going on a rant, it really bothers me that they don't let their games get put on Steam because it forces me to come over and purchase from Origin, which just, why are they splitting up my gaming library? It really eats at my OCD, which likes things kind of very organized. But so because of that, actually, Origin really is missing out. As you can see, or as you saw, I buy a lot of games. I buy games quite frequently. It's where, especially when I was single in the Army, it's just where a large portion of my disposable income went, just because of how much I enjoyed them. But as you can see, my Origin list is pretty. I got what I felt were or at the time thought were going to be. So SimCity's kind of a good example. I did enjoy it. I didn't hate it nearly as much as a lot of other people did. But at least these are games that I really kind of were like what I felt were must-have games. So I have these games if anybody wants to see me play them. But I don't purchase anything else from them for that exact reason. And let's see, why did I do that again? Okay, well, for the record, that was my spam folder. So if you see any kind of crazy stuff going on there's nothing. I'm going to go double check and make sure before I post this video. But I don't think there's going to be anything super personal there because that's my garbage email. And I've had that since I was 14 or something. So if you see a lot of porn and stuff in there, realize some of it's stuff I signed up when I was a teenager. And no kidding, they're still sending me stuff. And hey, there's nothing wrong with looking at a little. I'm married, but nothing wrong with looking at a little porn every once in a while, even if you are. Not my opinion, but okay. Anyways, Well, I might just keep that just because it kind of lets you get to know me a little bit better. Okay, yeah, but I want to install it, but not right now. So, Alpha Centauri Planetary Pack. Anyways, okay, so Good Old Games. I really like Good Old Games, and they just launched their Good Old Games Galaxy, which is basically their version of Steam, for lack of a better way to compare it. This is what I have on it. Some of these are free, so even I haven't actually tried playing like from this one down to here. I haven't tried playing them from like these. I might get around to that one day. And actually, if there's something here you like, I've never played any of these before, so it might be a fun Let's Play if you're interested in it. And then these are the ones I bought because at least at the time I bought them, you couldn't buy them through Steam. I think that has changed now for some of them, but when I bought video games, is the only place you could buy these at the time. I wish, to be honest with you, I could take my Steam's library and just transfer it over to Good Old Games, because I think Good Old Games has really made a lot of progress where Steam has been falling behind, especially in regards to quality control and Good Old Games' version of early access. But as of right now, I've just kind of have to deal with two libraries. The Wing Commander games are a lot of fun. I'd love to do a Let's Play on those actually, but before I do that, I want to make sure there's interest in watching that. And then and then Ubisoft, my other arch nemesis, not really, but they're another company that really is missing out, because as I said, I do purchase a lot of games, and it really frustrates me that Ubisoft does let games get put on Steam, but they still make you go through their Uplay system. And I always forget my Uplay password. It's just a pain. It crashes all the time. It's just not a good system. And the reality is, you've got Steam, and then Good Old Games is kind of making a good go for competition. But Origin and Uplay, sorry guys, Steam won, you lost. Is kind of my thought on it. And while I will buy must-have games or games that really, really interest me, the reality is I'm not boycotting necessarily like Origin, but there's games there's games that they are selling. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Store that and see this. It's stuff like this. Let's say I wanted to buy an Origin, and this is not like the first time. It's funny. I mean, it's interesting this has happened now, but it's just stuff like this. The website's not even it's just they just need to suck it up and get their games put on Steam and close Origin, in my opinion. But okay, there's a lot of other games that I would probably have been willing to purchase and play because they were neat to me, but I didn't find them interesting enough that I would purchase them through Origin. So I think this video is already turning into a lot longer than I had initially planned it to be, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys found it useful. Please send your request up, and salute. Have a good day.